and after the Zohar Salah we'll have a program for about 20 minutes inshallah. So we are free. Allah make it that we benefit from this. What I thought about speaking about is a lecture that was delivered by Honorable Sheikh Ridwan, which was titled as Anwar salah, the Noor of Salah, in which he explained in great detail. Actually, it was a book written by a great saint of Islam, Shah Ismail Shahid Rahimullah, where he explained how a person benefits from his salah. Because we all understand that in Islam, the biggest and the greatest ibadah is salah. But because our salah has always been like, we're just doing it like a duty, coming to the masjid, saying Allahu Akbar. A time has come that for some people it has become a burden. For some people 5 times salah is very hard. Whereas Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say that the coolness of my eyes has been placed in salah. Meaning any problem I got, that the musalla is the first place I'm supposed to go. When my head is paining, I must feel happy to be able to put my head in sajda. But when all that will happen is when a person understands what is salah and how to perform salah, what to do when in qiyam, what to do when in ruku, what to think about. And then when a person sees what he is getting in his salah, many a person thinks concentration is very hard, impossible. Because there was never a cause done. If a person does a cause in salah, then you will find wonders. That salah that you start enjoying, it will take you flying in the heavens. So he started explaining in this, that the first thing to understand is 2 rakats of salah. What it can bring for man. And what a valuable gift it was for man. In this 2 rakats of salah, Allah Ta'ala allowed man to encompass the ibadat of all other ibadat. And then to encompass the ibadat of all other creation. And then to encompass the ibadat of all the angels and those that we call without life. What this means is that we all know there is zakat, there is fasting, there is hajj. These are the 3 ibadat which are besides salah. If a person performs his salah correctly, whatever barakat has been placed in all the other ibadat, Allah Ta'ala brings it in a 2 rakat salah. In this manner that when you start a 2 rakat salah, first you pull the barakah, the blessings of zakat. Because zakat means spending your wealth in the path of Allah. For a 2 rakat salah, you must have an intention. That, oh Allah, for the salah I spend for you. What you spend? The first is the money you spent on your clothing. Which Quran says that, oh man, when you come to the masjid, then make sure you dress properly. Make sure you cover your body. So all this clothing that I buy, if a man has an intention that, oh Allah, I bought it for you, that wealth is spent. Thereafter, water is used. Many a time nowadays it's the wuzu khana of the masjid. The Honorable Sheikh says that happened in the time of Imam Malik rahimullah. Before that in the masjid there was no facility for wudu. Everyone would make wudu wherever they could find water, far away. Imam Malik rahimullah gave permission that in the masjid make some facility for travelers. And the traveler got no water. Otherwise the law was that at home if you got some water facility, don't come to the masjid. Because at the masjid someone has to pay for it, it's not free water. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would speak lots. A lot of benefit he would mention for the man who makes his wudu at home. He would then say for every step he takes, Allah will wipe out one error of his and will elevate him one rank. As long as he remains in wudu with the intention of salah, the angels continue writing the reward of salah. Then he comes in the masjid, as long as he's waiting for the imam to stand up, he's being written as though he's in salah. When the imam finishes, as long as he remains in the masjid, he got some work, a bayan is taking place. As long as his wudu doesn't break, the angels continue writing for him the reward of salah. But all this takes place when he leaves his house with wudu. On every lamb that the water drops off, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whatever error took place with that lamb is wiped out. But it all takes place when there's wudu at home. So when you spend that water, how much water we waste? That water we'll never get rewarded for. But that water you use for your salah, Allah Ta'ala will record it, you spend for me something. We have to pay in the end for water, nothing is free. So there is a zakat There is the zakat of the petrol. In the past it was a horse. It would be told, whoever keeps a horse for Islam, for deen, for Allah's pleasure, then as the horse moves, that stool of that horse, the urine of the horse, who will ever bother of that? But Almighty Allah even records that in His love. That this horse has been made for me. He's using it for my deen. So the feeding of the horse, the dirt of the horse, the grooming of the horse, everything was mentioned, separate reward. In today's time, your car, petrol, diesel is not cheap. But where we use it to go all over the world, that petrol, diesel which is used to come to the masjid will find a high reward by Almighty Allah. Every one rand, one pound, everything is being recorded. So in salah, 2 rakats of salah, but you will get your zakat done there. It's not the real zakat, that you still have to give. But there will be the barakat of spending for Allah in salah. Then there is the barakat of hajj. When a person makes the intention to face Qibla, that is going to pull for him the barakah of preparing to set out for his journey towards the Kaaba. Because Kaaba and Qibla is the same. When a person says Allahu Akbar, all the blessings of putting on ihram, because ihram means that I make everything haram on me. When a person enters into ihram, now he can't put on itar, now he can't go to his wife. When a person says Allahu Akbar, he is saying, oh Allah, the whole world behind me. Everything is haram. That's what takbir tahrima means. Making everything haram for me. Then when a person is in qiyam, the barakat of standing on the plains of Arafat. Whoever went for Hajj will know, on Arafat you stand. Here I say, oh Allah, for you I stand. All that barakat is then pulled. Then when the person goes in ruku and sajda, the movement that's taking place, he pulls the barakat of moving between Safa and Marwa. Allah Ta'ala has put it all in a 2 rakat, one movement. Thereafter the barakat of fasting. When a person starts the fast, he can't eat. But he can still talk. But when he says Allahu Akbar, he says, oh Allah, for you, I have made eating haram. I have made talking haram. I have made thinking of other things also not permissible for me. I'm going to try and concentrate on you only. My body movements are going to be restricted. I'm not going to scratch here. I'm not going to scratch there. I'm going to hold myself. I am fasting in my movements. I am fasting in my speech. I am fasting with my eye also, which Islam taught in salah. Control your eye. The barakah of it will be when you go out of salah, you will be able to control this eye. How you control it in salah? You say Allahu Akbar. You look at the place where you have to make sajda. And you keep your eye. Although the fuqaha have mentioned if the eye moves in salah, even if it goes to the clock, it won't break the salah, it is not even makruh. But they wrote there it's against the adab of salah. Against the etiquette, keep the eye there. It will move a little bit there, bring it back there. Now you go in ruku, look at the place between your feet, where your 2 feet are in between. Keep your eye. Then you will go in sajda. It's a little hard, but try and focus on the tip of your nose. In the sajda. Don't close your eyes. In salah, never close your eyes. Hazrat Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi rahimullah taught people practical salah. So one of his murids, one of his students, that night he tried that salah. He did everything what his ustad had taught him. But to get that concentration, he closed his eyes. And he performed thinking only of Allah, but he closed the eye. In salah, the eye must be open. That night he had a dream where a lovely hur was presented to him. A beautiful woman of Jannah, but she was blind. So in the morning he was shocked, so he mentioned the dream to his honorable Sheikh. So he told him, what amal did you do last night? So he said, I performed salah. He said, there was a defect in your salah. How did you read your salah? So he said, I tried to concentrate so much, I closed my eye. He said, Allah showed you that because you left out the sunnah of opening the eye, you got a blind hur. Do you want a blind hur in Jannah? No one wants a blind hur. Meaning in Jannah you won't get it, but it was in a dream shown that I want the eye open in salah. But now you concentrate, put it on the tip of the nose. And then finally when you're sitting, put it on your lap. When you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, look at your finger going up. And then when you make salam, normally when we make salam, we look like this, that who missed the namaz, and who never come. Don't look at the people. Look here. When you look here, you think of one thing, that there's an angel here, and there's an angel here. And these two angels have been told to record my deeds. When you will think of this here, in Islam the fuqaha have taught, you will make the intention of the angels when you're making salam, that peace upon you. But when you will make salam to this angel, the world of the angels will start becoming a reality. That after the salah, when I leave, I will not forget I got two companions with me who are recording my every deed. So in 1-2 rakat salah, my whole tuning will start taking place. So look after the eye. My Honorable Sheikh would say, he who protects his eye in salah. Normally one of the biggest problems we have today is, because there's so many young girls walking around, many people who are married, your wife, no matter how beautiful she is, she doesn't enjoy the molding of shaitan. Every other woman besides your wife, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when they walk in the world, shaitan decorates them for the eye. She doesn't look beautiful to her husband, but she looks beautiful to everybody else. And we all know how fast our eye gets caught on the internet, on the magazine. And everyone, once a time comes, that I can't carry on like this here. Just looking. That my own wife doesn't look smart, everybody else's wife looks nice. What kind of life is this? So a time comes when a man wants to protect his eye. He who looks after his eye, Hazrat Shah Hakim Muhammad Akhtar Sahib Rahimullah, a great saint of Islam, would say that in the past people became Allah's selected friend with tahajjud. Late at night they had to wake up. He said, in today's time, I guarantee you, you learn to control your eye for the pleasure of Allah. You will be on the heights of Allah's friends. It's a very hard game this, to protect the eye, because everything is around today. It was never like that before. But the man who looks after it, which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Almighty Allah has announced, the one who protects his eye in my love and in my fear, in lieu of that, every time he looks down, his heart hurts. Who doesn't like to see a pretty girl? But he looks down, Allah Ta'ala announces, in lieu of that pain, I will give him the sweetness of Iman. That is what we're looking for, a different feeling. It's something you taste, your whole body goes through sweetness. That sweetness comes when you look after the eye. But to look after it is not easy. But the person who will do it in salah, looking at the places. So one person heard this lecture. So he said that he married his second wife solely for the purpose that he couldn't protect his eye. But on the second wife, he still couldn't look after it. Now he was thinking of a third marriage. But even if you have 4, Shaitan will still make all the other women look beautiful. A time has to come where you have to learn. So he said, in salah he started practicing, look after my eye. But in salah it's only 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But in the blessings of that, he said, now my Allah has given me the ability that as soon as haram comes in front, I drop it. And it's not hard. Make a little effort and you will see this eye can come in your protection, in your control. You can learn how to press brakes with the eye. वो सामने से आई, she came in front, pretty girl, मैं नाबीना हो गया. I just went blind. The blind man, he doesn't look and say, wow, he can't see. I made myself blind. I just went like this, close my eye, finish. वो सामने से हट गई. Then when she moved away, then I opened my eye. Now my sight came back. When man will protect his eye from haram, Allah will expose to him the beauty of all Allah's magnificent qudrat around, all halal. You will see Allah, the power of Allah in the sun. You will see it in the moon. You will see it in the clouds. But when this eye falls into filth, you will miss the beauty of your Creator. And that's a very terrible man who doesn't see the beauty of his Allah all over. So in Salah, Allah Ta'ala has given you that fast. In Salah, there is the ibadat of the entire creation. When a man stands, you will see some of the creations in the world, the trees. The tree is standing in the worship of Almighty Allah. Those plants that you see going up, when a man is in his qiyam, he encompasses the worship of every creation that stands in Allah's worship. Then you will find like mountains. Mountains are like sitting. They're like pegs for the earth. When a man is sitting in Salah, he encompasses the ibadat of all the hills and mountains of the world. How they're sitting in Allah's obedience. They're not moving. Then you will find the animals. Those that are on 4, they are like in ruku. When man goes in ruku, how his body is bent. Every animal, which Quran says, وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ, everything makes the tasbih of Almighty Allah. Meaning is in the obedience of Almighty Allah. Only you don't understand. وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُمْ. That animal remains like that. It's in the continuous ibadat of Almighty Allah in a ruku posture. When man goes in his ruku, he encompasses all that ibadat. In every posture, when man goes in sajda, there are those animals that moving on the ground flat, like the snakes, the insects, they flat. When man goes into sajda, he encompasses all that ibadah. In the 2 rakats of salah, every Nabi that came taught his nation a certain method of worshipping Almighty Allah. But no ummah ever enjoyed what we enjoy, a 2 rakats of salah. Some of the people of the past would make sajda, they only had sajda. Some only had ruku. Some would only stand in front of Almighty Allah and lift their hand. 2 rakat salah, the entire world's ibadat was put in. In 2 rakat salah, there is the different tasbihat that will take place. You will be saying Subhanallah. You will be saying Alhamdulillah. You will be saying Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. Subhana Rabbi al-A'la. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would mention one of these tasbihs will fill the heavens and the earth with reward. You are saying it in salah. Then in salah you will have a little tilawat of Quran. You will have the most greatest dua ever given, Surah Fatiha. You will say Waladhalleen. As the Imam says Dhalleen, everyone will say Ameen. The angels also join to say, Oh Allah, accept this unique dua of creation. Everyone will be in Jamaat. Everyone is not concentrating. One man is concentrating. Allah loves his concentration. He says, I accept everyone's dua. Everyone's accepted. 2 rakats of salah, put your dua right on top. What dua? That, oh Allah, the whole world is lost. I ask you for guidance. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Every day to make the dua. How many times 2 rakats of salah is giving it? In the 2 rakats of salah, there will be durood on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All the barakat of Medina Munawwara which is flying in the world. When you are sitting in your tahiyyat, and then you say At-Tahiyyatu Lillah, the barakat of the Kaaba is coming towards you. Then you go to Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, the barakat of Medina Munawwara is coming. The tajalli, the waterfall that rains on Makkah Mukarramah gets directed to a man in salah. The waterfall of mercy that gets directed on Medina Munawwara. When a man thinks of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his salah, it comes to him. Sitting in his 2 rakats of salah, he's pulling blessings from which parts of the world? 2 rakats of salah. In 2 rakats of salah, you got the ibadat of every angel. There are some angels from the time they were created, they have never moved from the standing posture. They're just standing in Allah's worship. No other work they got, they just stand and they make the hamd of Almighty Allah. There are some angels that are just in ruku. Some of them are just in sajda. Some are just sitting in Allah. 2 rakats of salah, every angel's ibadat. Man got it. When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam once looked up, he said, you heard that? Like how sometimes when a lot of people are on the roof and you hear that slight movement. He said, did you hear it? Allah gave the Sahaba radiallahu anh that day the chance. They heard a sound in the skies. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the sky has squeaked. And it's only right that it should squeak. Because at the present moment there is not a spot in the heaven except that an angel is in sajda. All of them in sajda. But this man, 2 rakats of salah, the ibadat of all in sajda, all in ruku, all in qiyam, all in qa'dah, 2 rakats of salah. This 2 rakats of salah makes you fly through the heavens, 2 rakats. But for you to get all these barakat, all these blessings, all this benefit, it demands one thing, that the 2 rakat salah be read with love and concentration. And to create that love and concentration, this program will take place now after Zuhr, inshallah. We will think what to think about when I'm in my qiyam, what to think in my ruku. And then you won't remember everything. Allah Ta'ala in His mercy, Hazrat Maulana Hussain Ahmad Madani rahimahullah said, after studying this thing in detail, it is my view that in the entire salah, even in one posture, would love if someone thinks of Almighty Allah. Allah will write it as a complete salah of concentration. Because we all know where our mind goes. So just to concentrate little at the beginning, after that way it will go, it's going to fly. But just to say Allahu Akbar, oh Allah, in front of you, little concentration will get your salah already recorded in the big books. Allah Ta'ala bless us all with the best of salah. The salah will make us fly in the world. Allah Ta'ala teach us salah. Let salah become the coolness of our eyes. Make us understand it, make us practice it. SubhanAllah.
All friends.